This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, January the 23rd, and I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and I'd like to start out with a little personal note here. If you're in the Helena area, the Helena Police Department is selling Krispy Kreme donuts this morning for $5 a dozen to benefit the family of the police officer in Pelham who was killed just before Christmas. And so I think CVS, Walgreens, and there's one other location, but be sure to come by and take a dozen home and help out a good cause. All right, here's a look over Birmingham, and isn't it the sunrise beautiful? We do have a little bit of fog, but it's pretty spotty around the area. And there's a shot from Coleman. Once again, looking at the sunrise, we can see a deck of clouds way over there on the horizon. And the fog is visible down at Montgomery, where we see a bit of fog helping to make the lights look a little wispy down there. On our surface map this morning, we have a large kind of complex surface low pattern over the central part of the United States, and it looks like a warm front could affect us here in the next 24 to 36 hours. The upper air pattern, we're still under a ridge, so it's going to be kind of a mixture of sun and clouds today as the system to our west begins to impact us. And then we've got a closed low in the upper atmosphere up over the north central U.S., specifically over Montana, with a large trough down into northern Mexico. On our surface temperatures this morning, it is rather mild, 75 down at Key West for one of the warmer spots at this time of the morning. Still pretty chilly in the Rockies, but over the eastern half of the country, a large area that is above freezing. And in central Alabama, we're generally in the 40s this morning with a good easterly flow, and that's going to help to create some clouds for us. On the watch warning map, we have a big variety of things across the north central United States. Lots of winter storm watches, warnings, and advisories up there. Down here in Texas and across the southeast, as the pressure gradient increases, we're going to see wind this afternoon, some breezy conditions, and so we have the wind advisories in effect in addition to some flash flood watches. And for the flash flood watches, you can see as this system produces some rain, some of those could be pretty good from the southern Appalachians in North Georgia all the way up into New England over the next 5 days. So some significant rainfalls for that area. For us, it looks like on the order of less than an inch for most of us. And the severe weather is somewhat limited. It looks like for most of today, day one, that is through 12Z tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, it looks like the slight risk encompasses a good portion of Arkansas and a little of the surrounding area of western Kentucky, western Tennessee, northwestern Mississippi, and a little chunk of southeast Oklahoma and northeast Texas. Day two, everything shifts, and this is Sunday, 12Z till 12Z Monday, shifts over into the Southeast U.S. coast. All right, this is a 06Z GFS model run, and today it looks like we'll be basically dry. The pressure gradient increasing as the high slides off to the east and the low pressure strengthens, so we're going to see some breezy conditions today, but a mixture of sun and clouds, and that means we should see temperatures up into the 60s. The upper closed low over Montana begins to come further east and a little southeast with a nice chunk of energy coming through let's just say the southern Mississippi River Valley, and that should lead to possibility of a bit of a squall line perhaps overnight tonight with some rain, and again I think probably on the order of a half to 1 inch for most of us in the southeastern U.S. That squall line and weather system moves on fairly quickly, but notice the big change is it's going to get colder. So after that really cold weather, and then we've had like a week or so of really kind of mild and nice weather, now we're going to dip back into something that's going to be colder. By Tuesday, the eastern half of the country is still under a bit of a trough, but also a ridge in the central part of the country, and so we're kind of between weather systems at the moment, but as you notice by the 540 line, our atmosphere is beginning to moderate. That moderation continues into Wednesday. As the surface high comes in, of course, the moisture is beginning to return back into Texas ahead of the next system, and now we have a pretty strong shortwave coming through the flow in the vicinity of the Texas Panhandle, Texas and Oklahoma Panhandle, actually. And that should be producing another surface low. But I think it's going to be a rain event. It doesn't look like the cold will have stayed around long enough. A more typical cold outbreak for us where it's only here a day or two as opposed to what we had earlier in the month. By Friday the 29th, the system coming out of the Texas Panhandle area phases with the major trough over Canada, and so that poses a little stronger trough for us, and that should produce another round of potentially severe weather for us. Was the possibilities of perhaps another squall line. And again, we're going to be turning a little bit cooler for next weekend. By Saturday, the cool air is here, and we've dried out as the high pressure settles in from centered over St. Louis. And by Sunday, should be a beautiful day as, again, the atmosphere begins to moderate. As you can see, the 540 line up into southern West Virginia. All right, very quickly, let's go out into voodoo country, and we're just going to look at the 500 millibar patterns. The 2nd of February, as we get into another month for 2010, looks pretty wet as we have still an active southern stream going on. And then finally, at the very end of the period, at 372 hours, we're under a southwesterly flow with another fairly substantial trough in the central U.S., and that, again, looks like we might be seeing some wet weather. So it certainly looks like things are going to stay active for us. Well, thanks for tuning into the Weather Extreme video. I expect to be back with the next one before 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. In the meantime, I hope that you have a great day, and don't forget, the Storm Alert Tour is coming up for Ashley, Jason, and James, so be sure to check out that schedule. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great day, and Godspeed.
Each day, there are new stories to tell about the people who live here and the place we call home.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Sharing your stories on ABC 3340, Alabama's news leader.